Hi, my name's Nigel Booth, and this is the 30-day map to success in network marketing. Sue and I put this together as a means to help our own distributors become much more successful in their early career within a network marketing business. By way of background, Sue and I have been in the network marketing industry well over 20 years. I've been involved in it for 20 years full-time alongside my wife Sue in her business. I joined her in 1997. We did that because I was in a well-paid job, but it was pretty high stress. The job owned me. I was working long hours. Although I was well paid, I was also fortunate enough to have spent a couple of years watching Sue build a network marketing business on a part-time basis. But what had happened was that her income had gone well over that of a full-time income. In fact, it had exceeded mine. So we sat down after a holiday in America and discussed whether we could work together. Ultimately, we decided that was a good idea. We chose to work together. And in the intervening 20 odd years, we've done nothing but work this network marketing as a business full time. And we've had great success in that. We continue to have great success in that. But one of the things we found over the years of teaching and training and mentoring people within our own organizations, and indeed in a much wider context of teaching others as well, we found that we were teaching very similar things continually. So what we decided to do was to put this together in a way which would benefit new distributors coming into our organization and help them to create a real income for themselves and prove that to be possible within a 30-day period, hence the 30-day map to success in network marketing. What we've done is we've looked at all the things that we've been teaching and really pigeonholed them into little sections, bite-sized chunks that anybody coming into our organization can actually get a hold of, learn the basics of in a very quickly, in a short period of time, and apply those to practical outcomes. In other words, creating real results that generate an income. So what we've done is we've plotted this roadmap, and we take our new people through that roadmap on a one-on-one basis in order to put them in the best position to enable them to create real success for themselves on a part-time basis initially, because something like 95 to 97% of people come into this kind of industry part-time to begin with, but then turn that into a full-time income in a very quick period of time. Now that then gives you choices, and ultimately that's of course what this is all about, the choice to choose what you do, whether you perhaps become full-time in the business or continue to run it alongside what you do already. It's entirely up to you how you decide to play that. But essentially a networking business gives you the chance to make real choices about how you lead your life. And that's, I guess, one of the kind of benefits that people are really looking for as they come into this as an opportunity. So we'll get into this and show you in an overview of the way this works today. You'll get the essence of it. You'll see the roadmap itself. You can see how that can then turn into benefit for yourself potentially. Should you wish and should you choose to ultimately decide to join us, then we'll give you contact details at the end of the presentation. This program is aimed at people who are in a situation where they're looking for change. And perhaps you're one of these people or something similar. You know, whatever it is, there's something perhaps you're not happy about in your life. I guess you could be asking yourself the question of, doing what you are right now, are you going to make what you want, have all the dreams delivered upon in the next 3 to 5 years by doing what you are? Well, if you're looking at a networking opportunity, or perhaps you're looking at changing from one opportunity to another, then something somewhere will have been potentially blocking you or giving you cause for doubt. You know, you're confused about whether you're going to get any success, whether you can succeed, but you know you're worth a lot more underneath it all. And changes are one of those, it's the only constant. It's the one thing that everybody has to embrace in some way or another over their lifetimes. Growth only happens when change is happening. And so what we help people to do with this system is actually isolate all the things that they really need to know, but also show them and expose the things that need to be done. In other words, if you've got things that are blocking you or stopping you from moving forward, then we'll find out what that is, where they are, isolate them in a way which allows us to address them and give you the guidance and the help and the training perhaps in order to overcome that. I hesitate to call it a weakness, but the thing that you're finding difficult to overcome. We hold your hand to help you make that happen. That's part of the reason we put this together, because we found the same things were blocking people time and time and time again. So if you're in the evaluation phase of looking at networking, you're not really very happy of where you are right now, you want some change, then we can help you fast track that change with this program. Very simple, as I said, and it's going to take you from that position of confusion and perhaps just stuck towards the position of, giving the choices to choose, the freedom to choose, what income you have, how you spend your time, and perhaps the legacy you leave. You see, people come involved in a networking business for all kinds of different reasons. But principally, the one thing that they're looking for is more income, because income gives you choices. And income leverages time, because you can do things with your income that you wouldn't otherwise be able to do. So this program outlines all of this. Hopefully takes you, you'll see how you can go from where you are to where you'd like to be. And we'll show you that in a relatively straightforward way, giving you a snapshot of the overall program here. Okay, so let's get into the meat of this. Here's you on the left, or I'm presuming you're somewhere in that kind of thinking on the left-hand side here. We're going to take you from that position to the one we described earlier, and you'll see the way that we actually do that. First step to take is a decision. Knowledge is power, as the saying goes, and knowledge that you have right now may not be what you really need to know in order to drive yourself forward. So we're going to teach you, we're going to take you through a lot more about why this industry is doing the things it is, why it's growing at 7%, 6 to 7% a year compound across the globe, why so many people are now involved in it, over 100 million across the globe, which actually is not very many when you consider there are 7 billion people on the planet, and why it's really delivering transformational change to so many people who get involved in it. Because this is a way of doing business that actually is really legitimate. It gives people a chance of being successful in their own business, but without the risks of a normal business. They don't have the overheads, don't need the stock, you don't need premises. That bit's all taken care of by the companies you align yourself with. The job we have as distributors is to take what they're offering and move that to the market and help other people do the same thing. And that we've put together in this roadmap to teach you how to do that successfully and do it fast. So firstly, we need to go through taking you from a position of ignorance to one of empowerment. And we do that by giving you information about the possibilities that you've got here. And the possibilities are some very simple concepts that once you really get hold of, will take you to the next position of being able to begin to build on that thinking and your knowledge, and take us to the point where we actually move from being stuck to a place of motivation. Now that's all about why. And what I mean by that is that when you do things that fundamentally make your heart sing, the thing that really gives you satisfaction, that's where that's where the real change begins to happen, because you feel the need to become something more than you are. And people very often get into networking because they're looking for personal development. And the network marketing industry does it like no other one on earth. And I come out of a professional background. I went through all sorts of training courses while I was with the company I was with, and they taught me essentially to do the job better. They didn't really teach me to become a better person in the sense that I was achieving more for myself in terms of what made my heart sing. So I got paid well because I could do the job quite well, but I felt unfulfilled by what I was doing. So again, if you're feeling that, the networking industry provides personal development like no other on the planet, without any question. The people become involved for other reasons, though. It might be that you're looking for financial freedom, whatever that means to you. It might just be some extra income. It could be to meet some new people. It could be to have your own business. It could be to retire. It could be to leave a legacy. There are all kinds of reasons why people become involved in a networking business. But essentially knowing your why is finding out what's in your heart that helps you to move yourself from one place to another. Because if you're strongly motivated enough, then the things that get in your way are just things to be overcome. They're not barriers to quit. In other words, they're not big enough barriers to quit. So we move you through, and I help you. Sue and I will help you find out what your real why is, what your driver is, what it is you're looking for in your life that we can help you to actually fulfill. So having gone through this process, we'll then put you in a position where we can create a vision. We can see where we're going. You can see where you're going, much clearer about where to go. Now, if you know where you're going, it's much easier to plan your way to do it. You know, you don't pick a place, you don't get in the car and just drive around. Well, you can, but you kind of end up back where you start. So if you've got a destination in mind, then plotting the route to the destination becomes much easier. Do you take the slow road, the fast road, the mountain road, the valley road? Which road? That's your choice. But now you know where you're going, it's much easier to plot your path. And that's what we do in this first decision-making phase. It's putting together all of the things that relate to you and what you want, what you're looking to achieve in your life. And then now we know what they are, planning our way to making that happen. You see, any goal at the end of the day, you start with the goal and you work back to the little steps that need to be taken to reach it. You know, I know it's a hackneyed adage, but you know, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. You don't get there in one leap. You've got to do it piece by piece. And this is no different. And it actually doesn't matter how big your goal is. Ultimately, if you've got the right plan in place and the resources to begin to make it happen, then reaching the goal becomes a given because you do all the things necessary to actually arrive at it. So this decision phase is fundamental because it lays the foundation. You know, you spend 2 years building the foundation of a multi-story tower block, and then it goes up a floor a week. You don't get there in a heartbeat. So we have to build the foundation right, get your thinking right, expose the areas where we need to work, and to look at the plan itself, plotting that plan, and then creating the vision to make that happen. So next step is about training, because those things we've been through in the decision phase, now we're building on that and turning it into belief. So we're looking at the way that we can actually experience the beginning of this process. And there are going to be gaps, probably. There may not be. You might be one of those people who's got all the basic skills. We just need to click them together in a way which makes them coherent. In other words, they fit together so that you can start to achieve things. And where we do identify what those gaps are, then we put some training in place. You can work with Sue and me, and if we don't have the skills that you really need, we'll get them for you within the team and the community that we already have. We've been in this business long enough. We know pretty much most of it. And how to help you overcome whatever barriers you've actually got in your way. So we take you from being untrained to giving you the skills that you need. And then moving into the next part of this, we begin to communicate with the market, because we have to look at who your market is, who you're aiming to get to connect with, where your skills are in being able to connect with that market, what background you have, and those sorts of things. And then we're going to prove that process. So we're going to begin to engage with the market in a way which will produce results. Now, that word results, we're not talking about success and failure, because those two are just simply the opposite sides of the same coin. You can't have the coin without two sides to it. And it's no different here. You will not get 100% yeses in anything that you do. And this business, like any other, has its averages. You know, you're going to need to do certain things, and some results will not be what you want, some results will be what you want. Whilst we know what they are in relation to the way you're communicating with your market, we can then refine, we can really understand what the market would actually respond to in terms of how you communicate with it. So moving into the next phase, once we know what that is, we're now going to raise your profile with your market, because raising your profile through online strategy, global potential strategy, that leverages results, because the more of an authority figure you are, the more respect you gain, and as a consequence of that, it makes it simpler to actually engage with that market on a more effective basis. So this is the second third of what we're doing. So we're deciding what we're going to do, we're analysing the goals that we need to get through, we've created a plan for ourselves, and we're now showing those things work. So we're building on belief. And now we've got to the stage where we know this actually can work. It's only a matter of time. So we're going to take the action. So taking action really means now we're going to measure the results we've got. We're going to take all those things we've been doing, pull those apart, look at how they're working. Now we understand what we need to do in order to make it move towards the conclusion of the goal that you've set for yourself. So evaluation, we know what works, so we measure through measuring the results. Now we're going to share that success with your own group and duplicate that activity across your own group, using this roadmap to help people understand the fundamentals and create their own plans in a way which gives them the best chance to succeed as well. And we're going to teach you to teach your team, because ultimately this is about duplication of activity. Nobody can duplicate you. You are unique. We're all unique. We all do things in our own way. We all do things differently. However, if we adopt the same methods, we can achieve the same results. And this method works. So we're going to teach the method to other people to help them enable their own teams in turn to then do the same. That leverages your results because it becomes sustainable in terms of the process that's going on. Think about it like this. If you work for somebody, then you have a job description of some sort, even if it's only implied by your background, and you know what role you have within the organization. Let's just I'll take McDonald's because it's really simple. As a franchise, they turn out more hamburgers than anybody else globally. They have an extremely well-proven system to do that. When you take on a McDonald's franchise, you don't start turning out pizzas because it's designed to turn out hamburgers. Everything it does is done to a process that churns out hamburgers at a brilliant price, and they sell more than that because of this than anybody else in the world. So using the system helps you to duplicate that process. Once you duplicate things, then your income grows exponentially because there are more people doing the same thing you're doing than you could do on your own. So think about it like this. In networking, I'm sure you understand the basic principle of seeking other people to do the same thing you do. If you find just 5 people spending 5 hours a week, those 5 people are spending 25 hours a week on your business because you found them. If you're doing 5 hours a week, then the 6 of you collectively are doing a total of 30 hours a week. So that's 30 hours of effort going into your business, but you're only putting in 5. That's duplication of effort. Now, what you want is that duplicated effort to be focused on the activity that's needed in order to create the results that you want. Results are effectively money-making exercises. So we teach the same method to the same people. You stand a much greater likelihood of creating the results that you actually want. Ultimately, where we take this is through into team development, and scaling those teams up, and that enables you to go global. In the time that Sue and I have been involved in network marketing, the internet has really become, it's just totally transformed the world. In the days when we got into it, it was very difficult to sponsor globally. It was difficult to sponsor outside of your own country, actually. And in the case of some companies, they simply didn't do it. But now it's a global village. So much so, your business, if you do it in the right way, and you embrace the use of technology in the right way, as we will show you how, then you will go global. There's no question that it will happen. So you've got a marketplace of 7 billion people to have a go at, and if it's done in the right way, then it could totally transform your income and transform the way that you actually lead your life. So ultimately, we're taking you from the bottom left to the top right, from the person who's looking for potential, opportunity, looking for change, is willing to learn how to make that change happen, is willing to embrace it in a way which will grow them as a person. And going through this very simple process, we can show you in just 30 days that you can create something that perhaps you have dreamed about, but you've never really thought was possible, to giving you the freedom to choose your time, your income, and ultimately whatever legacy you leave for your friends and your family. Okay, let's just talk a little bit about what we do and how we work with people. Everyone in our group has access to the 30-day roadmap, and we give you that access in a way which enables you to teach this on to other people. And we take you through it step by step to identify what to do, how to do it, and how to implement it, and then to go on working with your team to build your success. And we do that on an ongoing basis. We don't exclude anybody from our trainings at all. We're always doing them, and we work one-on-one with a lot of people in order to help bring them on over the real roadblocks they find for themselves. So we help you to become a network marketing professional in just 30 days. And what does that mean? Well, really, it means you're going to see some money, some income at the end of it. Inevitably, you will, because that's the focus of the whole thing, is taking you from where you are to where you want to be and generate the income alongside it. So I hope that you get some value out of this. Sue and I are available. Here are our numbers. Please take a note, give us a call, or drop us an email. Either way around, we don't mind. We really want to work with people who are motivated, and I'm sure you are if you've got through to the end of this. And change is the only constant, as I've written about many times. And it's the one thing that we all have to do in order to get to places we've never been before. So if you go on doing what you are, you'll stay where you are. If you start to do things differently and think differently, then things change. And change happens in order to improve our lives. And so whatever you choose to do, I wish you success with that. I hope you found this useful. And I also hope to speak to you soon.